Welcome to Fox 8 News Now. I'm your host, Casey O'Day. Coming up on today's show, Linda Coddington and her beautiful artwork, Backroad Reflections. But we begin today with Dustin Hess, a local author, who just published his first book. It's called Sweet Pea and the 3 Days of Darkness. Dustin, welcome to the show.
Hi, Casey. Thanks for having me.
It's good to have you here. You're a Blair County native, and you've been working as a writer, not of fiction, but kind of as a writer for many years.
Right. I've been a marketing copywriter for about 23 years now, which is a whole different ballgame compared to writing a fiction novel that's 350 pages long.
350 pages long, fiction novel, as opposed to a marketing copywriter. Yeah, those are two different worlds, aren't they?
Yeah. Way more people reviewing what I write on the marketing side, and being an independent author, independent publisher, what I write goes. So I'm the boss here.
And I love that. That's the thing about being a writer, but also being your own boss as a writer means you have to motivate yourself.
Absolutely.
Speaking of which, you started this book a long time ago.
Yes, the motivation that you mentioned, that was one of the key things I had to overcome. I started writing this in about 2012 or 2013. It was going great. About chapter 10 or so, I hit a wall. I did nothing for 10 years. It sat, and I thought about it every couple months, every couple of years. I picked it up when I turned 50. I think it was one of those midlife crisis things where you think, I don't want this to be it. I need to finish this. So I found the motivation, talked to people, watched some YouTubers, and I pushed it over.
You know, you walk a path with Stephen King, because as prolific as he is, he's done the same thing. Put things down and come back to them many, many years later. So yeah. I don't think the time matters because you've got it done.
Right.
Let's talk about Sweet Pea and the 3 Days of Darkness. This is a teenager's book, correct?
Yes and no. I think the best way to describe it is it's one of those things that touches a bunch of different genres. It crosses over. It has some mass appeal to it, but it does have a 14-year-old main character, and it does deal with a lot of the emotions that teenagers are going through, but at its core, it's really a story about a family. I've had readers in their 70s, in their 60s, in their 50s, kids, no kids, it doesn't matter. It seems to have a little bit of something for everybody, and I've heard from a lot of readers that have liked it.
I read one of the reviews online from a 70-year-old man who bought it for his granddaughter and said, well, I just wanted to read it to make sure it was appropriate, and he loved it. So I think you're right. It transcends ages. It transcends genres. Tell us a little bit about the story.
Sure. In a nutshell, I'd say it's about a troubled teenager, her very messy family, and a dying son. And when I say that, it's not in the sense of a science fiction, post-apocalyptical book. It's really about a family, and that the sci-fi part of it is just a backdrop to what happens. We start out in 1985 when Sweet Pea, she's 7 years old. They have a traumatic event. You know, something happens, and that kind of spills into her teenage years and just her trying to deal with this. So the story then jumps ahead 7 years. Most of the book takes place in 1992 when she's 14. She's dealing with the trauma. Her family's hanging on by a thread. The parents are having this close to divorce. They don't know what's going to happen. So she has her teenage angst to deal with. Mm-hmm. She has PTSD from her past to deal with. And then we add in this third layer of, hey, there's this news report that we heard on the radio, the sun's going to burn out for 3 days, maybe more, we don't really know. Is it coming back? So just the way those storylines converge and how the characters handle them, and just all the conflicts among the father, daughter, the mother, everyone is having their own ways of dealing with these plot points.
And you incorporate a lot from our area into the book. You've had a lot of inspiration, like from Del Grosso's amusement park.
Sure, right. There's an amusement park that plays a pretty central role in my story pretty early on, and they revisited it later too. I give it a fictional name of Family Castle Amusement Park, and it has, trumpets and cavalry. But it's Del Grosso's in my mind. When I was writing that, when I'm there with my kids and they're little, it's Del Grosso's park.
Well, we're going to take a quick break here, Dustin, and then we'll be back to talk more about you and your book. In the meantime, what's the best place online for people to find your book?
It's on Amazon. That's the easiest place to find it. I also have my own website, dustinmhess.com, which lists all the other places you can buy it.
Perfect. Thank you so much. We'll be right back to talk more about Sweet Pea and the 3 Days of Darkness with Dustin Hess coming up next on Fox 8 News Now.
I've had a lot of people